I'm going to start with something. One second. One second. All right. All right. Oh, yes. Wow. Incredible. I have never seen an audience do it that quickly. That is actually really cool. That is a round of applause for all of you. I told you earlier this morning that I'm going to make sure that we do this a lot, and we're going to. Get used to it because it's a big deal. That round of applause is for you because you are here. And you don't yet know exactly how significant that is, and I'm going to tell you right now that it's more than half the battle. And I'll explain why. When you are getting started, and this could be anybody. I've been working with the Skool Games guys for a long time, and they're the ones that oftentimes will look towards. It's like, wow, I would love to win, right? Winning on that level amidst all of your peers is such an amazing opportunity. The crazy part is they all have the same problems that you have. They're just on a different scale. They're oftentimes on a different scale. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story, and by the end of it, I think you're all going to agree you're going to feel really good about the fact that you're here and the journey that you're on. Does that sound okay? Yeah. Cool. All right. So this story begins for myself at the beginning of last year. At the beginning of last year, which isn't even that long ago, and that's really the frame that you should be looking at here, okay? So remember the timeline. That's what's really important. The beginning of last year, I was doing a bunch of online stuff, and I enjoyed it. It was fun, but I hadn't really had that level of success that I was looking for. I had made some things work, and I'd seen some progress, but not the stuff that I really wanted to see. Changes in my life, changes in my family's life. And so I started looking around for different platforms. I was trying a lot of them, and in fact, Skool was the last one I tried because I didn't want to use Skool. You couldn't customize anything. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, but you can't customize shit on there. It is very difficult to find something, a platform like that gets me excited. So I decided, all right, fine, I'll give it a shot. Before that happened, a few other things happened, which was I decided at that moment, on a whim, I decided I really wanted to change the quality of person that I spent my time with. Now let me explain. I loved hanging out with people. I've always been a people person. I like spending time with people. And a lot of times that meant that I would just give my time away freely. I didn't think that was a bad thing. And I still don't think it is, really. But what I needed to change was I needed to start spending more time in rooms with people that I wanted to be like. And that I wasn't doing. I wasn't doing that aggressively. I wasn't really trying to put myself in the rooms with those people. So I decided to change that. And has anyone done that before? Have you ever decided, you know what, I really need to level up the quality of person or the quality of room that I spend my time in? Raise your hand if that's something that you've done. Yeah. So the fact that that crossed your mind, I've been there too. And so what happened was that month I said, okay, how am I going to do this really quickly? And what I came up with, no one in my circles would have told me it was a good idea. I decided to get a handful of coaches, and I spent over $10,000 in 1 month with money I didn't have at the time. And I was like, I'm going to become these guys' friends. I'm going to learn what I need to learn, and I'm going to make something happen with it. And as soon as I did that, I found my people, I spent that money, and I swear it wasn't 2 months later that I won the Skool Games. And that was the crazy part, was that there wasn't anything crazy that I needed to learn. I just needed to be spending time with a different person, and all of a sudden, small things got unlocked. And so I'm going to explain this a little bit more today about this concept called gravity. It's something that you see a lot in school, and especially in these IRLs. You're probably feeling it today. Shortly after I won the school games, I was invited to come work with the school team. And I spent the last year hosting the school games there. You've probably seen me in all the pictures in the background, these crazy outfits. And that's my point. I was the vibes guy. I was there to make sure that everyone was having a good time, that everyone had a good expectation of what they were doing. I was the extrovert of the group because everyone else was an introvert on the team. And so I can tell you this with confidence. There's an element of the world that you cannot see, hear, touch, smell that gives you influence over the world around you. This is what I call gravity. And the crazy part about this is that just by being next to people that have it, you get it too. Has anyone felt this before? Yeah. This feeling? Yeah, I felt it today. Yeah. There you go. What did it feel like?
The gravity have the same interest together.
Yeah.
We have the same object.
Exactly. Yeah. There's this interesting fact that I've spoken to a few people about. A couple of these guys are buddies of mine in a very, very successful business in Berlin. And they were telling me about the story that they recently came across. And a lot of people agreed with them because they had different versions of the same thing, which was that on average, you usually find about 30 settlers to every one explorer. Does anyone know what that means? 30 settlers to any one explorer. Yes. Who said that? What does it mean?
That means a settler who person just look for to survive in a place. An explorer look for different thing in different place.
That's exactly right.
Every time he look for a different thing.
Yeah.
He look for the advantage.
That's right. Everyone give him a round of applause on that one. That is exactly right. Yes. You will probably see this in your life. There are way more settlers than there are explorers. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. If we were all explorers, it was 30 explorers to one settler, God, this would be chaos. So it has to be like this. But here's the problem. When you have that arrangement, most of us grow up thinking we're crazy. And the problem is, you're just not yet in the room with the people that you gain the gravity that you're looking for. And so, that takes me back to the gravity point. If you really want to expand the impact that you start having on the world around you and the things that change for you in your life, one major way is just making sure you find people that have common interests and you spend time in a room with people that are a little bit further along the way than you are. Just spending time in the room with them. That is probably the single greatest thing that I have seen when it comes to school games and school games winners, which is insane. This is like a very strange thing I did not expect to see. But it is something that you see every single time that no one is removed of it. And in fact, Sam Ovens himself, when you corner him and ask him about it, he will tell you, yeah, I would prefer of all the places to have people all in one spot physically because the impact becomes greater. The impact becomes a lot greater. So, I'll take that one step further for you. We spoke earlier about this to a couple of people that were here, but I'm going to expand on it because you can sometimes get yourself a little bit tripped up. So I'm going to go over a couple of differences between what it looks like to have a successful business and a consistently successful business. You'll often see also with school games winners, I mean, we're all familiar with this, yeah? I mean, Mr. Addy right here is a school games winner. He's a prime example of it. When it comes to winning the school games or just having success with what you're trying to do, what's really profound is just being able to get there and achieve that. You have to do a lot of sales in order to get there. What a lot of people always made the mistake of doing is they spent all of their money getting to that success. So month 2 rolls around, you're broke, but you've got a lot of fulfillment to do. Is everyone familiar with what fulfillment is? So fulfillment is the idea that if you buy a course from me or a product from me for $100, you give me the $100 and next week I'm going to give you the product. Well, next week I better damn give you that product, right? That's fulfillment. And you always have this cycle. You sell someone on something, they buy it, you fulfill on it. That's how you keep happy customers. That's how you maintain an environment of community, which is ultimately what everyone here is wanting and benefiting from. I mean, as you can see, I'll put it this way. It takes a very special person and a very special group to be able to reach out to everybody and get them so inspired that they themselves rally together in a situation just like this, like Mr. Hattie has done for us. And you can't underestimate how powerful that actually is. So I want to really harp on this for a minute because it's probably it's probably one of the two greatest errors that anyone can make when doing their business, as a beginner or as someone advanced. Selling too hard and fulfilling too little. If you don't balance that and you don't have a steady growth for it, it becomes very hard to maintain. Imagine how wonderful it would be to have 10K come in this month. Now imagine how difficult it would be to have to fulfill on 10K worth of fulfillment. You want to make sure that you're prepared for it. And if you have that growth, just be ready to bring on those team members or those partners that are going to help you do that. So the second thing, we spoke with this a little bit earlier too, which was probably an error that is even more significant that I will most commonly see business people, online business people make, is that they're not aware of their offer. And so I'm going to go over it for a second here because all of those truths, those facts, completely become relevant no matter what you're selling online, okay? Now, there are three things that any of us in this room will ever buy. We're only ever going to buy health, wealth, and relationships. This is the only stuff that we ever buy. Every now and then you'll get products that are on the road to that, but usually you're getting those products because you're becoming healthier, wealthier, or improving your relationships, right? Is everyone familiar with this?
Yeah.
Who has not heard of this before? All right, we got a bunch of pros in the audience. I love this. So here's why this is important. Because most of the time, we will forget that and stop selling those three things. We'll sell something like a course on authenticity. Beautiful, worthless. The things that you want to be selling must always have those three pieces inside of it. And the way that you call this is a offer mask. It's important to remember these things, so if anyone has questions, like ask me, because I don't want it to be just one way. If you have questions, I'm taking you through a lot of stuff very quickly, so ask me if there's something I can clarify. An offer mask is the idea that, could you stand up for me? Come join me right here. What's your name?
Ahmed.
Ahmed.
Yeah.
Goose.
Nice to meet you.
All right, everyone say, hey, what's up, Ahmed? Go ahead, you can say hi to him. All right, so.
Also with us yesterday.
Oh, was he really?
Do you remember him? No?
Yeah, of course I do. I want to make sure that everyone else knows who he is. All right, so you sell online courses today. Just pretend you do for a moment, all right? So now you're going to sell me a course on what? Pick a topic. Maybe how to get a girlfriend. This guy's a killer. All right, so you're going to teach me how to get a girlfriend, all right? What do we call this course?
I don't know, relationship.
Find your love.
Find all your.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it, yeah.
How about finding the right wife?
Finding the right wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great one. All right, so I'm going to get the course that he has called Finding the Right Wife. All right, lovely. Now, when that happens, let's take a step back and imagine what happened when you were making that course. How long do you think it would have taken you if you had to and you're like, I know this is going to make a lot of money? How long would that take?
I don't know. Maybe 1 month.
1 month.
2 months.
Yeah,
I don't know.
totally. Okay. Now, what I'm going to break down for you is a concept of how you could get that done in 1 week or less, no matter what you're teaching. All right? and then I'll be buying this course from you, and then I'll go find a wife. Lovely. All right, thank you very much, man. You can sit down. Now, the point of this is that when you're, I'll use a course as an example here. Everyone has either bought or sold one before, right? A course. Raise your hand if you've bought or sold an online course before.
Bought or sold?
Okay. All right, cool. So I think it's safe to say I can use this as an example. When you have something like this, this is a relationship course that we're talking about right now. The mistake that you can make is by saying, well, first you're going to have to fall in love with yourself. Yeah. First you've got to come in and take care of, like, you put this on your offer stack. I'm going to teach you how to fall in love with you and make all these progresses, and ultimately you'll have a wife by the end of it. Mm-hmm. The error is that people do not buy the method. They buy the result. So I just want to hear from you that I'm going to have a wife in 30 days. That's all I want to hear. That's not how the world works, obviously. You can't get six-pack abs in 30 days. You can't get a wife in 30 days, or you probably don't want to do it in 30 days exactly. And you don't want to become necessarily you probably can't become a millionaire in 30 days. But the point is that that is the result. So it's actually what you want to talk about. Okay? Now, everything else, let's say you have a method that you teach, right? And it takes you through all these steps. You save that for inside. You make courses, you tell stories, whatever you do, that's just not what you market. You market the result of what they're looking for. Everything else is just you. It's just you being you. You could teach meditation. Yeah. That doesn't necessarily have to do exactly with finding a wife, but it's still part of the process. Is that making sense to everybody? Right. Yeah. Okay. It's a very minor detail, but it is so important that by the end of the day, if you don't know what the difference is between the offer and what you're doing, if you're not willing to put it into the language of your user, then you're not building that consistency that's going to take your business to the next level. Okay? So the consistency, that's the most important part. That's what we're trying to make happen here, and that's why it's important that you know how to make an offer and how that's different than what you're delivering actually is. If you understood that, tell me, I understand. All right, cool, I like it. Excellent. So now I'm going to take you through the next 3 things that anybody will ever need from you when they're buying shirts, when they're buying services, right? What you're only ever delivering someone is more ease with what they're doing, to do it faster, or to do it with no risk, right? So it's easier, it's faster, or it's no risk. If you recall just a moment ago, I told you I'll share how you could make a course, for example, in 7 days. And it has to do with those 3 things. Because most of the time, if I told you you had to make a course on, say, how to find a wife in 30 days, you'd probably make a really good course. Like, it would be beefy. It would cover all the details, have all the significant little pieces, nothing left out, right? Am I right? Yeah. Okay. So that's where we mess up. So I'm going to give you 2 secrets. The first one is you have to understand, let's say you're teaching how to make money, right? Or let's use, actually even better, let's use the relationship. Let's say he has taught me, he's teaching how to find a wife, right? But he's not married. Is that unusual? No. Should I still buy that course? No. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Now what you find is actually the opposite. It's weird, let me explain. The people that struggle the most with a thing usually become the best teachers of that thing. I'll say that again, okay? The people that struggle the most with a thing usually become the best teachers of that thing. Great question. I wondered a lot too. because it didn't make any sense to me. It's like, how does this keep happening? Well, the explanation that I came up with after studying so many school games winners and so many people making lots and lots of money is because it's the amount of time, we're going to go back to gravity here, it's the amount of time you spend on a problem. And the people that struggle the most spend a lot more time on that problem than the rest of us. If it's easily solvable for us, then probably we're not a professional on it. It just means we figured it out faster. And that's why it's another one of those things that you'll be like, oh, I think I get it now. Because when you start seeing small differences like that, like the fact that you don't necessarily have to be a millionaire to teach how to earn money. You don't necessarily have to be super fit in order to help people get fit. It's almost freeing. Because now you've actually given yourself permission to teach the thing that you yourself are struggling with. What a beautiful thing to be able to do.
So you mean like sharing your journey with them? Or?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great perspective on that. So did everyone hear her? She said, so do you mean like sharing your journey with them? Right? Yeah, that's a great way of doing it. But it doesn't have to be that way.
Okay, so like how I can teach people, for example.
Here, go ahead.
Oh, hello. Hope you're doing great. And I actually have a lot of questions for you because I'm planning to do a community tour in school.
Beautiful.
But I'm a Quran teacher and Arabic teacher, so it's gonna be more about religion, but in a creative way, I think. So I do have a lot of questions about working there. The first one is, do you think that going live is more important than putting a lot of videos? Because I heard that a lot of people, for example, they just like put videos and people gonna watch them. But a lot of people also do a lot of lives. So for you, the successful people in your school, what's like their strategy to make more money or like getting closer to the client and like feeling him? And the second thing that you said that it has to be three things: about health, about wealth, and about
relationships.
So for example, I'm a Quran teacher or I'm an Arabic teacher. Okay, I'm going to teach Arabic to English native speakers or French native speakers. So how I can like have these three things, but it's only like language. I don't know, like it has like, for example, talk about relationships in English or something like that. I don't know, in Arabic I mean. So third question is the last one that I like real interesting, that you said that the one who struggle a lot is the one that makes a lot of results or like can teach the best. For example, I already like say the Quran for many years, so I think I know a lot about it, but at the same time I'm improving myself. So for example, doing a course and sharing the journey of improvement, it's gonna be, for example, closer to the people that are gonna take the course, or just like giving them that perfect face that I know everything about that subject and I'm gonna give it to you. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Wow, that is quite a row of questions. Round of applause for those questions. All right, let's unpack it one at a time. Which one do you want to do first?
The first one.
All right, can you remind me what that one was?
The first one is videos or go live.
Videos or going lives? I say both.
Okay.
It actually ties in nicely with what we're doing. So I mentioned that I would teach you a method that you could teach people a course if you needed to in 7 days. So let me explain a little bit on that and it'll answer your question. The crazy part is that the more time that you spend working on a thing, the more into the details, into the weeds that you get, which actually is not as helpful as you might think. Remember I told you people are hiring you because it's easier, faster, or lower risk, right? Okay. Well, we can all assume that Google has just about every answer currently that you could ever imagine. I don't think any of us have something yet that hasn't yet shown up on Google, somewhere, right? So, if we assume something like that is true or close to true, then it means it's up to us to clarify the most important parts. Not to talk about everything, but to talk about the parts that are most relevant. So, if we do something like that, what we're actually doing is, what you would actually do is repackage it in this way. So here's how it works. Let's say, for example, I've just opened a community. I just opened a community, I bring in 5 to 10 people, right? and it is free, totally free. They don't have to pay anything. I tell them, all right, at the end of this 7-week experiment, I will have solved your problem that you came to me for, and in exchange for giving it to you for free, you're going to give me an awesome testimonial. How's that sound? If you were able to spend a week with me, I would solve your problem, and then all you had to do is give me a testimonial. Would you do it? Yeah? I think I would too. So, here's why that's important. Because if you do that, all you do, and here's your answer, is record every single session for 7 days. You don't have to plan anything. You don't have to strategize anything. You're there to learn from the people who are struggling in a slightly different way that you have struggled with that thing. And you record all of those sessions, record the testimonials on the last day, and then at the end of that, that's your course. So in that process, you've identified exactly the most important things that people have struggled with, recorded it live, and then use those recordings as a course for later on. You now have credibility, you now have testimonials, you can now accept new clients. So that's why I tell you both, is because oftentimes, if you can have a workflow, I mean, in English, we often call it 2 birds with 1 stone, right, or 3 birds with 1 stone. And you always, always, always want to be able to leverage things like this, because just because it takes you more work does not mean it delivers more results for your people. And you can't confuse those two things. In fact, your clients would probably prefer it if it was very easy for you so that you could give a lot of it away. Does any of us want Mr. Addy to be having like a really hard time delivering everything, just like work and bend over backwards to make sure that we're taken care of? No. No. We want him to be having a great time. And we want the opportunity to be able to learn from him the things that he's doing really well, the things that he's overcome, right? As easily as possible for him so that the rest of us can be able to digest that at a moment's notice. So, does that make sense? Okay. Did I answer that first question for you? All right.
By the way, this is exactly what we're doing. So we are doing everything live and everything gets recorded.
So by the way, guys, you can attest to that. This is exactly what we're doing. So we are recording, we're doing everything live, recording everything, and then we put it on the classroom so that you guys can watch it in the luxury of your own home, whenever you want, wherever you are. Even if it's not convenient for you to watch it at a certain time, you can always go back to it and watch it whenever you want. And this is the power of it, to be honest.
That's right. Absolutely right. Has everyone been able to benefit from that model? Good. That's right. So in a lot of these cases, I might be explaining things to you that actually, if you look closely, Addy's already doing for you. So there's a lot of these implementations that when I look at the most successful school games winners, they almost always have this kind of model, something similar, where they're able to deliver something that they do once in many different forms for their audience to consume. And that's one of the reasons why when Addy invited me down, I said, absolutely, I'll be there. Yeah. Morocco, I'm coming. Yeah. Your second question, please.
My second question is about like the 3 things that you said: health, wealth, and relationships.
Yeah.
And as an Arabic teacher,
how to package that.
Yes.
Okay. So if you told me that for $100 I could get a little course, it'd take 30 minutes, and I would get better at Arabic, right? I'd be interested. But I wouldn't be like over the moon interested. Yeah. But if you told me that I could find a wife, and all I'd have to do is learn these key things about Arabic to find an Arabic wife.
Arabic wife.
Yeah. Spanish wife with Arabic. Yeah, I don't know about that one. Yeah. Now I'd be interested because I was interested in having an Arabic wife. Okay. Right? And you can do these kinds of things. Does that make sense to everybody? Because if it doesn't, like, it's really important to stop on this for a minute. This is a very, very good question.
It's the angle you're using to market the thing.
Correct, yeah. The angle is everything.
The angle is everything.
Yeah. You need to be able to understand that if you're not selling health, wealth, and relationships, and sorry, I don't mean all three, I mean one of them. You can't do all three. If you do all three, people are like, I'm not gonna buy that. That's everything. You're gonna have this, and then you're gonna get that, and this other thing, that's too much. You just pick one. You pick one of those three, but it's only those three. And if you're not selling those three, like for example, even if you just have a simple clothing brand, but if you're like, have you ever wanted to have a relationship happen so fast because of the products that you sell, right? You're starting to see how these things are connected. You want the number one biggest desire that a person has, and the method be the thing that you deliver. Okay? So, any questions about that before I move on? Cool, all right. I like this audience, they're on it. And your last question.
My last question?
Yeah.
Oh my god, who got it?
Does anyone remember her third question? It might be on the floor here somewhere. Can you look under your chair, please?
I would record like the whole thing that you said, but like it's hard to find the question. I think okay, I asked about the three things and
How to teach something without fully knowing.
Ah, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, you're referring to the part, nice, someone was paying attention. All right, so this was the concept of,
Sharing your journey with someone, that's why.
yeah, I guess this was tied into being an expert on what you're doing or struggling with what you're doing. Yeah, okay. So the reason that I say, let me put it this way. Does anyone care to offer up what the definition of passion is? The word passion. Yeah, raise your hand if you'd like to define it for me. Perfect. Ah, look at you.
Hello everyone. Passion, doing something that you really love to do, and you, the time when you do it, the time pass without you even know what when
Beautiful. Thank you, man. That was great. I love hearing him talk. Excellent. Thank you for sharing. It's absolutely wrong. But that's beautiful, because what he said is exactly why I wanted to make sure that we took some time on it, because it's very, very important. The reason why it's wrong is because passion, if it could be something that you really enjoyed, that time just disappeared while you were enjoying it. I mean, you could call chocolate a passion. I black out when I have chocolate. Time just disappears and I'm having a great time. The real definition of passion, it's a root from Latin, but it's different in many languages, so you'll have to translate it as you see fit. But passion is by default something that you are willing to sacrifice for. So it's actually a pain.
it's your hobby.
It could be.
Yeah, because you are doing it and you love to do it.
Yeah, that's right.
And also the time goes so fast, you don't feel it.
That's right.
Yeah.
But for a different reason.
Yeah.
It's not because you enjoy it so much. It's because you believe in it so much that you are willing to suffer for the thing. That's a big difference. Okay? So when we talk about a passion, right, why you would even be, it's a motivator. Why would you even be coming to a room like this? Clearly it's not at home. You don't get to just stay in your bed or do whatever it was that you were doing, right? You're getting out there and trying to learn and put yourself in uncomfortable positions. That sounds like a passion to me. And if you take that just a little bit further, you find yourself where if you are suffering to do a thing, right? Like say entrepreneurship, which I think most people in this room can probably attest to. That means that you're experiencing difficulty. You're struggling with a thing. Not because it's not a passion, but because it is a passion of yours. And if you're struggling with that thing, you're giving it more attention. It doesn't mean you're bad at it necessarily, but it could. It could mean that it's something that you just can't figure out. Like you've got it working for your friend and your parents, like you figured it out for all of them, but you just can't crack it for you. You know? Happens all the time. That is the person that is the best to teach. And in fact, I would probably contest that it seems like you're quite passionate about teaching these languages. And probably, even though you're good with it, you struggle with it because you're passionate about it. And that is the takeaway, is that just like with the other answer, it's both. You can be really good at something and still struggle with it. You can be really good at something and be passionate about it. You could also be really bad at something and be passionate about it. It doesn't matter. The point is that you're passionate about it, that you're spending time suffering in order to see that thing happen. And that is what makes a good product or a good service. The people that deliver the best things on the Skool platform always struggled with that thing long before it ever came to you. And that's why we learn from those people. Because they've already gone through the shit, gone through that hard part, right? That's why we're spending time with them, because they're there to help guide us and say, no, this is the way. Try not to do that. Go ahead and try it, but it's going to hurt, and then you'll come back to this path. These kinds of things. Is that making sense?
They're looking for results.
Yeah. That's right. That's a big one. Did that answer your question?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Round of applause for these questions. Excellent. What was your name?
My name is Hind. I'm
Hind.
actually a content creator in my major,
Mhm.
so I followed you on Instagram. Follow me back.
Oh, really? Okay, all right. Find me later. I'll make sure to follow you back. Wonderful. So at the end of all this, I'm going to do a practice with everybody here, because one thing that I've learned from being on the platform so long at this point, especially with Skool Games winners, is that it's one thing to be able to teach, and it's another thing to be able to show. And I think Mr. Addy here does a great job of showing. Has anyone ever heard that phrase, show, don't tell? Show, don't tell. It's a popular phrase in cinema. Maybe I've heard it more because I'm from LA. But in cinema, the best movies are always the ones where no one tells you to feel a certain way. You just feel that way, right? You're watching some part of a movie and it makes you feel sad or it makes you feel happy. If they told you to feel that way, probably you wouldn't feel that way, right? And that's why we show people, we don't tell them. And that also becomes important when you're doing online business, because the easiest thing to do is what I'm doing right now. I'm just up here telling you what to do. So at the end here, we'll spend a little bit of time where I will do it with you. I'll show you a couple of things that you can start getting into the practice of that will give you that sense of fulfillment. Being able to know, I know what he means because I did it, which is much more powerful than I think I know what he means, he talked about it for an hour. That kind of thing. Okay, but before we get there, I want to open it up just a little bit. I have a couple more points to make that I think will be quite helpful, but I would love to hear a couple of questions if anyone has them. Anyone have any questions pertaining to everything that I've been saying here? Or anything outside of it?
I think that we can let the things that outside of this thing exactly to the when you finish, I think. Or?
Q&A at the end.
Yeah.
I like your suggestion. I think I want to do a little bit of a mix on this one. Because like with her question, I actually really appreciate that because I'm able to weave it in the storytelling of what I'm trying to give you. All right, my man, here.
My question is, I just want to know what's your opinion, what is the common thing between all the school community that the winners that have you met before?
So what's the common denominator? What is common between all of them?
Yeah.
Good question. Probably the number one thing I would say, and the number two thing might be surprising for you. The number one thing is that they're all really stubborn. Really stubborn. These are usually people that if you tell them no, they'll just find another way to do it, right? It takes a very special person also to be able to, as you grow naturally, like everyone wants that success, it sounds really good, But then when you're in that situation, you start getting haters. And even as you're growing, you might just get a couple of haters. Just a crappy comment online or something like that just like bothers you while you're trying to fall asleep. You don't even know them. Who knows who it was? But they just said something shitty, right? And you're like, well, what the hell? I don't deserve that. The person that overcomes that is the one that is stubborn, because their vision is so important to them that all of these other people who have anything else to say, it just doesn't matter. If you really want to be able to be at that level, the first thing I would say is be okay. And in fact, maybe put yourself in a situation where you'll hear someone say, hey, you suck. And you're like, all right, I have a hater now. That is the number one thing that you need before you can be successful.
You don't care.
Yeah. In fact, one step further might be that you can actually say that you do care. Yeah, I mean, I get hate all the time. And it still feels a little bit weird. But I don't necessarily, it doesn't make me angry. I process it like I would something difficult in my day. Well, that's a bummer, but it takes that to be where I am. And that's how it is. So that's a really good question, because that's the first major thing is a stubbornness so strong that even emotional distaste does not take you off the track. The other thing that I would say that I've seen across all Skool Games winners is that they actually were a lot like the people in this room. Probably 90% of them were surprised how wonderful it was to be in a room with people that they didn't have to explain themselves to. It was the number one thing as the host of all these things that people would tell me. The number one thing. I don't have to explain myself here. That's crazy. So that's how powerful that it is. It's actually really significant, and I cannot stress this enough. It's really significant to find yourself with someone that cares so much that they put you all together in a room. It's very rare to find. This is one of those big reasons why I was like, yes, of course I'm coming to Morocco. This is exactly the kind of thing that delivers results. You cannot, you can't fathom until you've seen this kind of thing a million times how powerful it is to be in the room with a bunch of people that you don't have to explain yourself to. It is so significant. It gives you that bit of gravity that you're always talking about.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Let's take one or two more questions, and then I'll weave back into the storyline of where I was going. One or two more. I know someone's got them. I really want to stress this ability of like more call and response here, because I know how uncomfortable it can be being in the audience and being like, well, I'm curious, but not necessarily ready to put myself out there like that. This is the opportunity that you sort of have to start stepping in that direction. Any question. Ask me what my favorite color is. I'm ready for that. Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
Usually blue. Sometimes orange.
Oh, me too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What shade of blue?
Just all the blues.
Yeah.
The light's better.
Yeah, I'm more of a shiny blue guy. Give me two more questions. Do it as a favor to me. Two more. Anybody. But you have to be new. You guys have been too helpful, so not you two. Give me two questions. Perfect. Go ahead.
I want to ask you about you. So how did you discover Skool, and how did you find it? Is it great?
Is it, sorry?
Great.
Is it great? Okay. Thank you, man. Good question. Okay, so the way that I found Skool, sort of taking us back to the earlier part of the story, was I had a friend of mine who was like, hey, look, I know you don't like Skool. It looks like it's not that fun. Just give it a shot, right? He's like, there's this guy named Sam. He's really big on the platform. He made the thing a long time ago. There's a guy named Alex. He just got involved. I didn't know who these people were. And I said, okay, sure. Yeah, why not? And when I came on, I started realizing how straightforward it was to be able to take all the stuff that I'd used on tons of other platforms to deliver, right? And it was so straightforward, it was so easy to work with, And most importantly, it changed my service model from one time where I'd have one client come in, I serviced them, and then they left. And then that was the end of our relationship. It was like a one-night stand. And instead, I got married to all my clients. They would come in, we'd work together a little bit, and then I'd be a part of their journey. I'd hear about their families and the struggles that they were having. Like, this all happened in weeks. In weeks I was seeing this. And immediately I was like, where else could I be? This is so exciting. I love this. I love being a part of someone who's able to grow from what I'm doing. So that was how I found it. And to that end, I can probably give you a couple of secrets here that you may or may not know about Skool. The first one is that pretty soon here we're going to have a Maps feature come out. And the Maps feature will tell you where everyone in your community is. Automatically. Now, we're not going to dox anybody. It doesn't tell you exactly where. If we did that, it could be troublesome. So there's a margin of error that'll show up. So you might be just on the other side of your city, but you're in the right city. Now, that's important because that was why I decided to start doing this IRL tour. This is the first city of probably 14 now that I'm going to be hitting for the rest of this year. Because to me, it is so important that people understand the value of being in rooms with those that you don't have to explain yourself to. That's why. The other thing that I can share, which this is very, very exciting because we have been expecting this. I mean, Skool has been around for 5 years now. And something that I can tell you certifiably has more income potential in here than anyone realizes is the affiliate system. Has everyone heard of this? Has anyone not heard of this? No. Raise your hand if you haven't heard of this. Have not. Have not heard of this. Raise your hand if you have heard of this. Raise your hand if you're not raising your hand. Do I still have everyone's attention? Am I too boring here? Because if I am, I can amp it up a little bit and just start going. Now it's okay? All right. I know these can often be long shows, so I'll try and amp up just a little bit here. All right. So who here has heard of the affiliate program? All right. Who here has not heard of this thing? We're getting better. All right. Yeah. Of course, yeah. No, I'm just messing with them right now.
And link it back to Skool and how they can make money from being in the community and not only necessarily from POD.
Yep. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna love this.
Yep.
This is
whatever it is to do with money, these guys will love it. So just
oh, beautiful. Raise your hand if you like money. That's my people. I was just asking the wrong questions. All right.
Just go back to what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
Money,
health, wealth, and relationships. Yeah. Who wants to get married? Who wants money? Who wants six-pack abs? Here we go, everybody. Let's do this. Okay. So the affiliate program is a way that we have been developing in order to make sure that the members of significant and successful communities are able to profit monetarily from being a part of that community. All right. So this is how you make money from Addie's community. Literally. Yeah. Are you paying attention now? Okay. All right. Maybe I changed my mind. Maybe I don't want to talk about it. All right, so the way that it works, let's say I take a link, right? I don't know if everyone here knows what affiliate is, so I'll run you through how it would work.
Yeah, we know it.
Okay, so I would take a link that Addie has created, and I would sell it to my buddy. My buddy Joe needs to do POD. He's lazy, he's in the basement all the time, at his parents' place, no girlfriend. Come on, Joe. Do something with your life. So I help him, and I give him the link. I say, hey, I'm part of this POD community. This guy Addie runs it. Totally awesome. A little bit crazy. Awesome, though. And I want you to sign up and do this with me, right? And if he signs up using that link, for the rest of the lifetime of him being in that community with me, he gets paid every single month from using that link. Every single month. So let's compound this. Let's say, for example, I go out and I get 10 of my buddies to all do this POD thing with me. Who would like to be able to do it with their friends? probably most people, right? I'm not going to ask you to raise your hand. I know I've been there before. But health, wealth, relationship, nothing else. Okay. So if I got 10 of my buddies, and let's say there's, a 20% commission on all of that, well, now it's kind of like I have a couple of subscriptions of my own. I now have $200 on a $100 a month shared revenue plan that I'm getting every single month in the community that I'm already a part of. Right? That's what this is, and it's going to be released within the next month and a half.
Wow, guys. You understand the potential, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, the potential of this is significant, and here's why. It's the people in this room today that are going to profit the most from it. Profit means money. Can I get a hand raise if you like money? Raise your hand. Yeah. All right. So this is so significant for everyone in this room because the fact that you're here means that you're learning a little bit more. You've gone a little bit further. You've taken it a little bit more seriously, right? So because of that, you've likely already made relationships here, which means you can learn a better strategy, a better delivery plan, a better way to engage people that are in the community already. So there's no one better than those here. I would be very surprised and a little bit offended if at the end of the next month and a half, you guys aren't making serious money, not just with POD, but also with the community.
Can I just add one thing quickly?
Please.
What have I been doing since 2019, guys? Wow. YouTube, affiliate marketing. I'm going to teach you everything step by step on how to make money with affiliate marketing through our community. Not just POD, but also affiliate marketing. Every single person in this room is hopefully going to make money, and we're going to make sure of it.
It will never be more easy than it is right now. And remember, why are we a part of communities? Because it's easy, it's fast, and it's low risk. And there's nothing more low risk than having someone that you can rely on delivering a product every month after month, and you get paid just for introducing people to it. That's pretty profound. Yeah. Before I move on from this, does anyone have any questions about how this thing works? Does it make sense? Correct, yeah. You can do whatever you want with that link. Yeah, advertise it wherever you'd like. At this point, what's changing is that the community that you're a part of now doesn't have to market themselves anymore. You could actually be in control of what people you want to see in the community. So you can put it to your audience, and it becomes exactly that. And everyone benefits from it in the process. It's a really, really beautiful process, actually, if you think about it. Those are my favorite communities, the ones that are built from within. Those are always the strongest, and that's why Addie's is such a great example. A really, really good example of it. So, okay, I promised I would end with a few extra nuggets, so I'm going to tell you really quickly here a little bit about me so that you can understand what a special place you're in right now, because I don't think you get it. I don't think you get it yet. Who likes money? I got you. All right, cool. So, shortly after college, I dropped out at the end with one class remaining and just decided I wanted to start business. I started a nonprofit. That was successful, but it wasn't profitable. It's nonprofit. And then I started businesses, less successful. I probably started 14 businesses, and less than 20% were successful. But a couple were successful. And it took me over to China, where I started doing real estate. I lived in China for 2 years, bringing investors from China to buy property in the US. I made money, made a lot of money. Felt great, kind of. I wasn't able to be me exactly. I don't know if you're familiar with the Chinese environment. Maybe you'd like it. For me, it was a little bit rough. I had to wear like LV stuff, Louis Vuitton stuff. Like you really had to look and play a part. It felt a little bit artificial. But I was like, I'm making money though, it's fine, I can deal with it. Until a very lucky day. You may think I'm being sarcastic, but I'm not. When my business partners took the company away, locked me out, and left me with all the debts. I lost $360,000 that day. All my cars, everything was gone. Has anyone had a day like that before? You might have, actually. In a different way. Yeah. You get little opportunities like this in your life sometimes where you get to reinvent yourself. Decide what kind of life you want to lead. And it's usually pain that influences it. Almost always it's pain. And I can tell you for a fact that this was probably the lowest point of my life. I had also found out that my girlfriend was cheating on me at the time. It was quite a month. It was really, really something special. So I tell you that to tell you this. For me, after that process, I started thinking, okay, what if this was the universe telling me I had one more chance to figure out what I wanted to do and just do that? Because up until that point, real estate in China, it may make money, but it's not like the thing I want to do. It's just a thing that I could do. So what if I could do whatever I wanted to, and all I had to do was just start trying for that? So that's what I did. I started thinking, wow, what if I could travel and work from my computer? Right? I don't know if that's what everyone here wants to do, but that sounded nice to me. And what if I could also be making content? Like putting myself out there. At the time, I was quite nervous. I didn't want to do that. I was embarrassed that my friends would see me and be like, what is he doing? Being silly on TikTok, right? The crazy part is that from that experience, two things happened. The first one was that when it came to my family, they're all lawyers and doctors. They were like, we need you to sue the shit out of these Chinese bastards. This is what my family told me every day for like 2 weeks. I said, I don't want to. I don't actually think it's worth my time. At any moment in your life when you have a really significant low, something really bad happens, you always have two options. You can try and directly fix the thing that happened, or you can turn and walk away. Neither of them are right or wrong. They're just different decisions. I chose to walk away, and I'm very glad that I did. Because in that moment, I was able to decide, you know what, I want to do something different. And whether I succeed or fail, I only want to do that thing. And that feeling, even though it might not be quite in the same way as the way that I experienced, is why all of you are here today. Okay? So I can tell you certifiably that while you're on this journey, you're not alone. All the misery that you feel, don't keep to yourself, because those difficulties are what we're all experiencing. Some of us more, some of us less, but we're all suffering in order to see this happen. That's why it works, because you put in your time of discipline and effort. I told you before that one of the things that I did was hire coaches, and that's what broke it for me. That's what finally took me over the edge. Do you know what else I did? I did one other thing. This one's less fun, but it also has a similar effect. I gave myself a little bit more discipline. And by that I mean I subjected myself to more misery intentionally. I had cold showers every day for 3 months prior to this. I made sure to be eating healthy every day for 3 months. I was also working out, not every day, but like 3 times a week, every month. I mean, I'm much fatter now. I've been in an office for a while, so you'll just have to take my word for it here. But that's the last piece of advice that I can give to you, is surround yourself with the right people, hire the right coaches, and make sure that you are giving yourself the opportunity of discipline. The things that you want to suffer with, not the things that the world gives you to suffer. If you're going to suffer, choose. Choose what it is that you would like to suffer on. And if you do those 3 things, your life changes within weeks. Weeks. I've seen it happen a million times. It happens very, very fast. So, I promised you all that we'd have one big thing that I do with you at the end of this whole talk. Would you guys like to do that?
Yeah.
Are they asleep? Would you guys like to do that? Okay, that's what I like to see. Money! All right, can everyone take out their phones? Everyone go ahead, you can grab your phone. I've been hearing them ring all day long, so you may as well bring them out. Grab your phones, bring them out. Yep. So, it's about to become very loud in this room. So be louder. Scream if you have to. Scream if you have to. Yeah, exactly. There we go. I like you guys. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make 3 pieces of content. It can be about anything. You can share something that you learned, something you're excited for, something that smells good that makes you happy in the morning. It doesn't matter. But right now, you're going to get a feel for this thing that I've been telling you today. Gravity. Do you remember I was talking about gravity? Okay. Gravity is the thing that allows you to, with ease, make more influence with less effort. So if you're in a room with everyone else also doing the same thing that you're doing, also with the same mindset that you have, it puts energy into the universe that you get back in spades. So we're going to make 3 pieces of content today. One of them you're going to make right now. One of them you're going to make later in this room. And one of them you can make later with me when we're all hanging out for dinner or whatever we're doing today. Does that sound good? Yeah. All right. So everyone grab your phones, pull them out. Pull them out loudly and proudly. I've got my phone. I've got my phone. Yeah, that's right. All right, so we're going to amp each other up a little bit here. If anyone's not doing it, that's perfectly fine, but you're not taking this seriously. It is very rare that you get an opportunity to do something like this. Take advantage of it, okay? You're going to grab your phone, you're going to start talking to it, and you're going to let people know, here's what I'm doing. You can just record it on your phone, but it has to be posted today, anywhere. You could even put it in Addie's community. This is what I learned. This is what I felt. These are the people that I met. These are the things that I'm going to achieve. Anything, okay? Go ahead and grab your phone. Everyone hit the record button. Go ahead, record. I want to hear some voices. Come on, start talking to it. Give it anything. Who needs some help? If someone needs help, I'm going to come over and talk to your phone. Who needs help? Who? What? All of us need help. Okay, all right. Everyone stand up for me. We need more energy in the room. Stand up. Stand up. Everyone stand up. Grab your phones loudly and proudly. Come on. I want you to say to your phone whatever it is that you're interested in. Go ahead, grab it. Anything. There we go. Yes. Amazing. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm proud.
Yeah,
proud
dude,
to be here in this room.
I'm proud of you
With
too, man. This
Thank
is great.
you.
All right, anything. Go, 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 go. Say something. Anything. What's up, man?
Hi.
Hey, love that.
Hey, how are you?
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic today. How are you?
I'm so happy to be with you.
Hell yeah, I'm happy to be here with you too, man.
Because I want to make a lot of money.
Yeah, and you're going to. I think you're in the right place for this, man.
Thank you.
This is going to be really cool.
With crazy people with a crazy
Hey!
from America.
That's
Thank
right,
you for
man.
being here with
Dude.
us. Thank you very
You're
much.
very welcome,
He's
man.
from school. He's from school.
That's right, man. Love it. Fantastic. Beautiful. I love it. That is a beautiful phone case. I love that phone case. Yeah, let's do it. What's up, baby?
What's up, baby?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah. Hey, are you excited for today?
Yeah.
What are you going to do first?
Good
What are you going to do first on your journey?
journey.
Yeah. I heard that you're going to be a millionaire. Is this true?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay,
yes.
cool. So what are you going to do first?
I'm a billionaire. $1 million.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That sounds awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Hey, when that happens, are you going to message me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Message me when that happens. We'll go get some dinner.
I want $1 million.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Yep.
And my dream car, Lamborghini Aventador.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
I won't live to USA from Los Angeles.
Beautiful.
Because I like this city.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like people Americans.
I love that, man. All right. Well, Americans love you too, man. We're
Thank
gonna
you
make
so
sure
much,
we're gonna
bro.
make sure that something
One
cool
day,
happens.
one day,
Yep,
son,
I'm
one
looking
day.
forward to seeing you there,
Thank
man.
you so much.
Thank you, dude.
so much.
Beautiful. All right, now before we finish, one final thing. Who here has the courage to say, I didn't do it, but I really want to? Did anyone not do it during that period of time? Everyone did. Every single person in here did it. You did it. I know you did it. Okay. All right. I'm giving everyone one more chance because I'm spending time on this. There is never a better opportunity to get that momentum and energy going than when you're in the room with people doing this exact same thing. I won't be able to come to your house. I'm sorry. So we're going to have to do it here. All right. So everyone's good. Every single person got a bit of content. Okay. So can everyone here promise me that you're going to post it? In fact, we could do it right now. Can you promise me, if you can promise me that you're going to post that content right now on any social media or within the community, can you say, I promise? I promise. Yeah, I promise. More. I promise. I promise. You promise. Does anyone in this circle promise? Seems like you guys aren't promising. All right. Well,
are you going to post this or not? Come on. Yes? Yes. We're going to do it? Yes.
All right. Yes. There we go. If there's anything that you can take away that is most important from this, it is even though it may seem insignificant, it is this little bit. No, it doesn't matter what it was. Even if you're just saying, hi, everybody, welcome to the next day. I don't know. It doesn't matter what you say. It's the fact that you did it, and it's the fact that you did it in this room that is showing, not telling. That's you certifiably saying that you're taking control of your future and getting ready for everything that's about to come, which is your success in POD, in Addie's community, and your success using the affiliate program. Can everyone give me a big hell yeah? Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Do you guys love money?
Hold on. They need to hear it in Arabic.
That's my people. So, you're going to post it. You're going to get ready to double down on your POD business, and you're going to do everything you can to prepare for the affiliate program that's coming out here. And I guarantee you, everyone in this room is going to start making a lot of money. Thank you. All right. Thank you all for letting me talk to you. It was an absolute pleasure and an honor, and I look forward to coming back here too. Thank you.
Very, very, very good, man.
Thank you.
Really, really
appreciate that, dude.
Very insightful.
Yeah. Thank you, dude.
They enjoyed it.
Guys, you enjoyed it?
Of course, yes.
Oh, thanks.